Act Blue money laundering scheme has been exposed. Yes, truth seekers, hold on to your wallets because we're about to dive into a financial scandal that will make your head spin. We've uncovered shocking evidence of a massive money laundering scheme involving Act Blue, the Democrats' golden goose of fundraising. We're talking thousands of unauthorized donations, people being charged for contributions they never made, and a paper trail that leads right to Kamala's campaign coffers. How did she raise $100 million so quickly? Well, folks, we may just have that answer. This isn't just about a few misplaced dollars. It's about the integrity of our entire electoral system. And speaking of integrity, folks, while politicians are playing fast and loose with campaign finances, it's more important than ever to keep your own house in order. As summer heats up, so are energy bills, with 20 million households falling behind on payments. But there is a solution. Our sponsor's innovative mini AC unit cools any room in minutes, slashing your energy bills, perfect for home, office, even camping. Provides up to 25 hours of cold air. Don't let greedy power companies drain your wallet. Visit EasySummerCool.com for up to 60% off today. Stay cool while we keep the heat on these political scandals. Now let's jump right into it here. This was just posted. Just a few hours ago, James O'Keefe is on the case. A Texas woman denying thousands of Act Blue donations. There is no way I made all of these. Texas Sheriff's Office responding. Just in on Act Blue. There's no way I made all those, says Barbara Staples of Spring, Texas. Shocked to learn. Act Blue listed her as making, are you ready for this? 1,600 donations. 1,600. Totaling $13,000. Including 53 transactions in a single day. Where are the credit card companies on this? You'd think that the fraud detection would just be sparked like that. I can't even make a transaction with my credit card that I don't get a text message that says suspicious. 53 transactions? Now, of course, it's not likely coming from her direct account or her debit or credit card. These are probably straw accounts that are set up in order to distribute these funds across multiple donors. Gerda Henderson facing similar issues with $33,000 in unauthorized donations over 484 days. Despite only approving a few dollars, she had to close her credit card due to fraudulent charges. Okay, here's a case where maybe her card was fraudulently charged. Stating she stopped it all and canceled it all out. Unlike most other fundraising platforms, Act Blue does not require a CVV number on transactions. That is a very, very important point. CVV, the little 3 numbers on the back of your debit or credit card, that helps to cut down on fraud. When asked if she approved the transactions, she replied no. OMG contacted the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office for comment. And in response, they issued a statement saying it appears that both donors made voluntary contributions through Act Blue. One donor was reimbursed after contesting some of the charges, while others cannot recall whether all or only some of the donors were authorized. And now we're learning that the current revolt reveals that the Texas office of the Attorney General Act Blue investigation has been stalled since January by First Assistant Brent Webster, stating Attorney General Ken Paxton isn't fully aware of the investigation, as Webster has been withholding information. Wow. Let's take a look. This is the video that has just dropped from James O'Keefe.
We had a lot of problems with Act Blue. And most all of that was all refunded.
No.
That doesn't.
Ridiculous.
You've never had a day where you maybe donated 53 times?
No.
Okay.
No, not anything even remotely close to that.
Okay, so some of these, did you approve them all?
No. No.
They think you won't notice it. Yeah, but she didn't donate to them. They just get the information from your credit card and pass it to the next person. And that's once you sign up with Act Blue, that's their tactic.
Wow.
Continuing our series of investigations into Act Blue, OMG found ourselves in Texas speaking with elderly citizens Barbara Staples, Gerda Henderson, and Gerda's husband, Mr. Henderson. Furthering the theory of elderly citizens being victimized, Barbara and Gerda state there is no way they made these donations to Act Blue when presented with Federal Election Commission or FEC data. As for Barbara Staples, between the year 2020 and 2022, we at OMG found over 1,600 transactions amounting to a grand total of $13,000. The most shocking finding was a total of 53 different transactions in one day. That's ridiculous, Barbara exclaims.
Are you Barbara Staples? Oh, hi. It indicates you contributed, first of all, let me give you the big picture. And it's 2020, 2022, 1,600 transactions, about $13,000.
Yeah, like November 2nd, it says that the number of transactions, like donation transactions that day was 53 in one day. Does that?
No.
That
that's
doesn't.
ridiculous.
You've never had a day where you maybe donated 53 times?
No.
Okay.
May 13th, 2020, 5 times, 14th, 5 times, 16th, maybe 7
No,
times.
There's no way I made all those.
Shockingly, Barbara Staples even stated she had never donated to Act Blue at all.
Have you donated ever to Act Blue?
No.
Never.
Oh, you never have. Any,
Never. Not. Wow.
how about Biden for, it's Biden for P, that could be Pennsylvania. Any Biden that you'd set up?
No.
Again, you never set up anything to the best of your memory. I think so.
No, not anything even remotely close to
Wow.
that. No. So I would never.
Okay.
That many times?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
seriously.
Across town, Gerda Henderson and her husband were shown to have donated around $33,000 according to FEC data. Mrs. Henderson and her husband told us they've had ongoing problems with Act Blue, having lots of donations refunded that they never authorized or set up.
Yeah, I wanted to see if Gerda Henderson is available.
Yeah.
Is that you?
No, it's not last.
Hi, are you Miss Henderson?
I am.
Okay, probably over $33,000, 484 days in totaling transactions. In those days, about 6,000.
We had a lot of problems with Act Blue,
Uh-huh.
and most all of that was all refunded.
All of these were refunded. A lot of so I'll show
A
you.
lot of, if not all of it.
July 21, 22. It's all small dollar amounts. $11, $10, 6, 3. Does that look like?
They think you won't notice it. Yeah, but she didn't donate to them. They just get the information from your credit card and pass it to the next person or whatever. It's what it seemed like.
We stopped it all and canceled it all out,
Okay.
and it hasn't happened since because I had to shut down that card.
Is it something you had approved for them to take
Initially,
recurring?
I gave $3 or $5 or something, but not everyone was okayed by me.
Well, like you see there were 20 of them in one single day will hit. You know, maybe she only donated to one of them.
Okay, so some of these, did you approve them all?
No, no.
Gerda and her husband equated the Act Blue situation to a scam.
Well, we've heard on news from time to time where they were investigating this kind of stuff going on, and how people think they was making one donations and sometime or they hit the wrong button or something and they just run wild with the card.
So do you think they almost did it deliberately, manipulated
seems-
something in the
seems
fine
like
print?
Well, it did. Yeah,
mean,
it seemed like it.
'Cause there was no indication, again,
No.
that.
No, not at the time, you know.
Unless once you sign up with Act Blue, that's their tactic.
We reached out to the Montgomery Sheriff's Office, and their response was, quote, "It appears that both donors made voluntary donations through Act Blue. One was reimbursed when some of the charges were contested, and the other cannot recall if only some or if all donations were authorized." Current Revolt highlighted OMG's investigation with additional information pertaining to the Texas Attorney General's office. Quote, "Sources have told us that the Texas office of the Attorney General has been sitting on an investigation into Act Blue since January of this year.
Sitting on
But
it.
the case has been stalled by First Assistant Brent Webster. So why would the Texas Attorney General's office sit on a case of money laundering, identity theft, and fraud that exceeds a grand total of hundreds of millions of dollars? Well, according to Current Revolt's latest article on Act Blue, they state, quote, "Our sources told us the Attorney General Ken Paxton isn't fully aware of the investigation, as Webster has been withholding information and updates. Act Blue has hired Paul Singer to represent them in Texas, who is recently the deputy in charge of civil litigation at the Office of Attorney General and a friend of Brent Webster. We've been told Webster is withholding this information from Attorney General Paxton to seek favor with the firm Singer works for as a sort of insurance policy for his next job when he leaves the Texas Office of the Attorney General, unquote. We have evidence that Act Blue's structured money laundering scheme in Texas is still happening in 24. We cannot confirm the amount of donations that are fraudulent, which is why we need you citizens in Texas, to go on the ground, knock on doors, and help us continue our investigation into Act Blue. Stay tuned.
Wow. This is big, my friends. 5 days ago, Virginia Attorney General requesting answers from Act Blue regarding the serious allegations, stating my office has become aware of multiple serious allegations that Act Blue Civics, and Act Blue Charities, together Act Blue, have engaged in fraudulent, deceptive, and or otherwise illegal activities in the Commonwealth of Virginia. So this is all happening right now. Now, this is another call to action from the O'Keefe Media Group here. Let's take a look.
On the state in question, let's say you want to go knock on a door in your neighborhood and expose the Act Blue situation. You go to electionwatch.info and you're going to scroll down and see a map of the United States. You're going to click on the state in question, let's say it's Florida, and you will see the top names of the number of transactions and the total amount given at the very top. There's an advanced search feature, so you click on the gear, advanced search, and when you get to that drop-down menu, type in your zip code, and then it takes you to all the people in your neighborhood. So knock on these people's doors. You know, you don't even need a hidden camera. Just use your iPhone and say, hey, I want to ask you about this. You seem to be a victim of a money laundering scheme.
Wow.
Can I come in for a minute? I'm a journalist. I'm a citizen journalist. Get a copy of their bank statement. Make sure it's redacted. I will personally pay you $3,000 for that video. So let's see how many of you want to do that.
$3,000 he is paying patriots to step up and investigate. I mean, that's one hell of an incentive, if you ask me, other than just uncovering the rot at Act Blue. Holy cow, $3,000 to take action with with O'Keefe Media Group. Now, I want to play this clip of Rubio in a second, but this is a really interesting video that was published that's related to this. It raises the question about how Kamala raised so much money.
Small dollar donor. I can't be the only person who's disturbed by these figures of how much money she's raised in one day, or who also doesn't believe them.
Yeah, did Kamala Harris actually raise $81 million in 24 hours? And over $100 million in 36 hours, mostly from small dollar donors, according to Democratic fundraising platform Act Blue. I mean, those numbers would be astronomical for anyone, let alone a candidate who received a whopping 844 votes in the 2020 Democratic primary. So I can understand why people are a little sus about those numbers. And looking into this, things are about to get real murky, and I am not sure if people are gonna like what I found. So I'm citing a 2023 article in the Carolina Journal. Investigation indicates Act Blue potentially laundered fraudulent political donations. An investigative journalist from North Carolina, Stephen Horn, has made a significant discovery in the Federal Election Commission database, revealing a scheme to potentially launder fraudulent political donations through multiple left-wing organizations, including Act Blue. Remember, Act Blue is the primary Democratic fundraising platform online. All right, so Horn and two other volunteers, Kelly Lane and Steve, unearthed evidence of two Raleigh residents whose names and addresses were employed to record substantial amounts of money donated to Democratic organizations. And just so everybody's aware, platforms like Act Blue are required to disclose political contributions to the FEC, including who made the donation, when they made it, their address, and the amount of the donation. Look at this data. This is so bizarre. One donor, same day, just dozens of contributions. By the way, this is all public information, so you can go to the FEC website, do a search, see what you find. All right, the article goes on. However, a perplexing twist emerged when both individuals emphatically stated their inability to contribute such exorbitant sums.
Wow. There was a flurry of donations made in your name. About 20 donations. Have you ever donated to Act Blue?
Yeah.
Okay. These donations made, do they look familiar to you at all?
Not necessarily.
Yeah, so you can see there's a bunch of $100 donations in your name with this address.
Oh.
Well, those are Jeez Louise.
I did not make a flurry of,
One would remember that.
Poor
Yeah,
people.
you can't watch that and tell me something fishy is not going on. The result of these investigations suggests that the ActBlue fundraising platform is being used to launder fraudulent political donations using the names and addresses of ordinary citizens. If the individual whose name and address is on a contribution did not in fact make that contribution, it seems likely that the money is coming from a source which would not be legally able to make the contribution directly. That is wild. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying that's what's going on right now because we don't have the data for that. The FEC website is only updated, or the disclosure only happens on a monthly basis. But what I am saying is that based on past reporting, I should probably ask a few more questions as to where the hundreds of millions of dollars actually came from. Or maybe it's just...
Yeah. That's huge, friends. So if you're wondering, Magnolia Moonshine, if you're wondering how Democrats raised a supposed $81 million for Kamala in such a short time, it seems as if it's an ActBlue money laundering scheme using people's names and addresses without their consent or knowledge. Robbie Starbuck posting, Chris, for a Republican, you sure donate a lot to ActBlue and the Democrat Senate Fundraising Committee. Look at that. Look at all these donations. This is a Republican. Look at all these donations. This is a scourge. Here's another one. Another donor in Brighton, Michigan, donated over 2,500 times since October of 23. Their listed address is a retirement home. The question raised, is ActBlue scamming a retiree by convincing them to repeatedly sign up for recurring contributions? And we covered this just the other day. This was really startling, and it bears repeating.
Over 30 times from... Hello, everyone. I'm sitting here with my mother, and I decided to take a look at the election watch to see if my mother's name was safe and secure, with her name being used for contributions, and we found out that her name was being used over 30 times for Bernie Sanders contributions. Mom, did you make any contributions to Bernie Sanders?
Absolutely not.
Angie Jones from Indiana submitted a video of her mother, Alberta Jones, who goes by Mrs. Robert Jones, saying she did not donate to ActBlue or a Bernie Sanders PAC, as the FEC records show, from 2019 to 2024.
So you're positive you didn't make any?
I'm very positive. I have bank records that show where my contributions went.
Great. So you would turn those records over to me to prove that you didn't make these contributions?
Yes, indeed.
Alberta Jones gave O'Keefe Media her consent to show these bank records, proving during the time period of 2019, no donations were given to ActBlue at all.
How does that make you feel that your name was used?
I feel violated.
I'm sure you probably do. Well, I'm going to be turning this over to James O'Keefe, and hopefully we can get something done so we can stop this dark money from coming in. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Recent FEC records also show the Jones household, Alberta as Mrs. Robert Jones, has donated to ActBlue in 2024. That's despite the fact Alberta Jones says she's only donated to Republicans, including Trump and the RNC, and she has the receipts to prove it. How much do you donate a year, approximately?
Probably $600 to $700.
And
closer to the election, I could give up to $1,000.
And who? Say again, who you donate to?
To Trump, primarily Trump Save America.
Trump Save America. And when did your husband, Robert, pass away?
July the 12th, 2018.
Well, according to the FEC website, it says that your late husband is donating to Act Blue in 2024. It says
No
that.
way, no way.
It says.
Oh man.
Friends of Bernie Sanders.
Yep.
April of 2024. $10.30 a month. Monthly.
Monthly month. I can tell you, I wouldn't bother to write a check for $10.
This is Act Blue, Friends of Bernie, Act.
Okay, so dead Trump supporters donating to Act Blue. And we have James O'Keefe, who is paying citizen journalists $3,000 to go to the website.
.info. And you're going to, let's say you want to go knock on a door in your neighborhood and expose the Act Blue situation. You go to electionwatch.info and you're going to scroll down and see a map of the United States. You're going to click on the state in question, let's say it's Florida, and you will see the top names of the number of transactions and get a copy of their bank statement, make sure it's redacted. I will personally pay you $3,000 for that video.
Oh, wow. You got your marching orders, Patriots. And if that doesn't make you question every political donation that you've ever made, I don't know what will. This Act Blue scandal is just the tip of the iceberg, and you can bet we will be digging deeper. Remember, when it comes to politics, follow the money. It always tells a story, and right now that story is looking pretty damning for the Democrats. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and keep those critical thinking caps on, because in this era of digital donations and campaign finance loopholes, your hard-earned money might just be funding causes you never intended. Keep watching Raw Feed, because we are not done unraveling this web of financial deceit. The truth is out there, and we are going to find it.